And away we go. It's the aftermath. I'm not having fun at all. You're going to get Dave at lunch or breakfast tomorrow. So there's no point in having Dave here tonight to say the same things. Aaron and I are mad enough. It'll be fine. This show's brought to you by Galactic Fried Chicken. Galactic, located in Dayton, Kentucky. They're right down the street from Newport on the Levees. So very centralized. You don't have to go too far into northern Kentucky to get there. The best fried chicken in the city. It's gluten-free. Great fried chicken, great chicken tenders. Love the chicken dunkers. Fries, coleslaw, fried pickles, and the Galactic sauce is out of this world. Go see them. They will get you taken care of. Tell them BCJ sent you. All right, Aaron.
Yep.
TCU 45, Cincinnati 23. Woof. That was bad. That was bad. It was bad from the start. Cincinnati decides to be kind of passive on their opening drive. They a screen, a run, then they throw a ball to Cyrus Allen that would have been a first down. He backtracks, does not get the first down. TCU gets touchdown. And then Cincinnati does the exact same thing on the second drive. A little passive early. They complete a third down pass. Caleb Goody does the backwards jump cut. Cincinnati does not get a first down there. Instead of going for it on the fourth down this time, they punt. TCU scores another touchdown. It is 14-0 before a 90-minute lightning delay. And things never got fucking better.
Sure didn't.
Cincinnati got dominated 45-23. It was a thorough, complete ass whooping. Josh Hoover goes 19 for 22. Completes 86% of his passes for 306 yards and 4 touchdowns. You're like, boy, at least it sounds like maybe they stopped the run. No, they didn't stop the run either. Jeremy Payne has 26 carries for 174 yards, 2 touchdowns, a long of 51. TCU runs 52 times for 238 yards, 4.6 yards a carry. Brendan Sorsby was okay. The defense was as bad as it's been in a long time. I'm sure that will be the defense will do the heavy lifting on the conversation tonight. I'm sure we'll talk some Brendan Sorsby as well because he looks pissed. Like, he looks very angry with the state of things. And everything's bad. They finished the season on a 4-game losing streak. They go from 7-1 to 7-5. They go from, man, they're probably going to play in a pretty good bowl game if they don't do the unthinkable. Now they're not. Now who knows? Probably end up in Louisiana for the Shreveport Bowl, whatever the hell
Wednesday
now.
A Wednesday afternoon or some shit, like just something.
No, even worse. If I'm not mistaken, I think that bowl game is on the day after Christmas.
Yuck.
Yeah. Aaron, take it away. Say whatever it is you got to say.
Is Sorsby angry? Is he mad or is he checked out?
No, he's not checked out. The guy threw for what, 280 yards, 3 touchdowns, ran for 60. I completed 70% of his passes. I don't see checked out at all. I see pissed off. Well, where would you get checked out from?
Well, I don't know. Why is the season not over? And we're hearing reports that people are lining up for Brendan Sorsby. Get out of his mentions. Get out of his agent's ear.
Because that's college football in 2025.
Well, that's stupid. I don't have to like it.
don't have to like it, but yelling about it at the cloud isn't going to do anybody any good.
That's kind of my job. I don't know, man. Like, I see everybody in the chat right now. What do you do about Satterfield? What do you do about the coaching staff? What do you do about any of it? Well, I don't know that you can do much, because I think you have to, if Cincinnati is, as everybody likes to call it, a basketball school, then you have to be financially prepared to fire a basketball coach. And if that's the case, I don't think you can fire Scott Satterfield as much as you want to shoot him off on a rocket into the sun.
They're not firing Scott Satterfield. Like, it's just,
I don't think
it's not happening. I don't even think if you could, you would at this point.
That said, I think that with this coaching staff, there has to be people held accountable. This defense was terrible all season. They were average at times. They were below average to downright bad often. And I think that bringing back Vite is a tall task.
Here's my problem with the defense, Aaron. It's been a long season.
Mm-hmm.
There has been a lot of opportunity to grow and look different and look like maybe the status quo is not going to carry through 12 games. That they're not just going to keep doing the same passive, it's not even bend but don't break. It, like, it's just bend. You just bend and bend and bend and bend and bend.
No, it's just broke.
And bend and bend.
It's just broke.
Ultimately, yes, you're not wrong. But I mean, I like the Iowa State defense, but this isn't how Iowa State runs it, right? Like 3-3-5, 3-3-5, 3-3-5. I hate it. It has nothing to do with the alignment. It's how you play it. And for 2 years now, we have seen this thing be very, very passive. They don't load the box. They very rarely blitz the quarterback. They go light in the box, 5-6 guys in the box on 4th and 1 when the other team's in power. Like, that hasn't changed all year. They consistently play defensive backs 5 to 7 yards off of a wide receiver on 3rd and 4. And all they have to do is take 3 steps, catch a ball, fall. It's a first down.
That's on scheme. That's not on.
Yes, that is scheme.
That's not on personnel.
They are playing this way on purpose.
Correct.
Now, I guess you could say they're playing this way because of the personnel, but how would you know if you never tried the other stuff? You know what, Aaron? I really only felt like one game this year, the defense looked a little different than the other 11. You know what game that was?
Northwestern State or whatever.
No. Baylor, who had the #1 passing attack in the country. Cincinnati moved their DBs up. They were more aggressive at the line of scrimmage, and they held them to like 140 yards passing. Now, some of that is because Dave Aranda decided he was like
a bad coach.
Well, he was running like the student body right, student body left from the 1940s.
He decided he was a bad coach that day.
He didn't decide he was a bad coach. He's always been a bad coach. But it's just ramming your head into the wall and thinking that you're like, well, maybe this time we won't get a headache. Like it makes no sense that if what you've done hasn't really worked, you can't have a defense that gets no pressure and creates not even forget turnovers, creates no opportunity for turnovers. We just watched 12 games. How many times was there like a legit turnover opportunity? Like once every other game?
Maybe.
And I'm not even talking they got the turnover. I'm just talking about like today, when they're still relatively in the game, they force a turnover going into the end zone.
Take it out of the end zone.
Have multiple guys in position to get the ball, and it ends up a TCU touchdown. So forget like how many times did they have turnover opportunities that were turnovers? How many times did they have turnover opportunities? Period. They had 2 sacks today, credited to Monte Whedon. I thought he played well. You could see him flashing a little bit. But I don't think either were like sacks, right? Weren't they both like kind of Hoover moving around and it ended up like being a loss of like 1 or 2 yards? Like it wasn't like guys standing in the pocket and the defense makes a play and gets the quarterback down.
Well,
So
you only had, for that matter, you only had 3 tackles for loss total.
Yeah.
In the entire game, including those 2 sacks.
You're not creating any pressure in the pocket. And Aaron, the other thing that drives me nuts, Hoover completed what? 19 passes? Yeah, 19 passes. I'd say 16 of them were to a guy that didn't have a defender in the zip code to defend the pass. Guys are just standing open or running open and catching passes without anybody even in the realm of I can knock this pass down or I can make a play on the ball. So you're rushing 3 or 4, right? You're dropping 7 or 8, and guys are just running open with nobody even like they could dive and not be able to get there and make a play on the ball. Just wide open wide receivers. Wide open.
I like Tyson Veit as a person. I thought he was extremely personable. I think he has looked like a guy who has not had a defensive coordinator position before.
He looks to me like a guy that is okay playing extremely passive. Like that's about personality, Aaron. That's not if he had an aggressive personality, he would make mistakes, but he would make mistakes aggressively. There's mistakes being made.
I mean, I can't speak to his person. I don't know him. You've had far more interaction with him than I have.
I'm not talking about like who he is to his kids. I'm talking about his coaching personality.
Well,
like,
haven't you said that he's a high energy guy? Like, just
he is.
Will get up on somebody if they're doing something in practice and what have you. Like,
but that's not what I'm talking about. You can yell at somebody in practice all day and then go call a bunch of plays where you don't blitz, you don't pressure the quarterback, you don't have anybody covering receivers. That's passive. Your coaching style.
I agree. Yes, I agree.
I don't think, Aaron, that's related to he's a new defensive coordinator, because I think if that's who he was, look, this didn't, like, we're getting chewed up a little bit. I'm going to put everybody at the line of scrimmage and make them figure out if we're blitzing or not. Forget whether you blitz or not. Put 6, 7 guys right at the line and make them at least think you're coming after them. And then you can drop guys off. You can blitz guys. Like, there was 3 guys lined up at the line of scrimmage, 2 linebackers in the middle, and then 1 linebacker out, like covering the slot or the tight end or whatever. You're running a 5-guy box.
Going back to what I said about, 10 minutes ago now at this point, I don't think that you can afford to fire Scott Satterfield financially.
Aaron,
moving
There's
on.
no point in you can bring it up 73 times. They're not firing Scott Satterfield.
Will you let me make a point? Jesus, I'm agreeing. Yes, you can't fire him. Understood. Fuck. What I'm saying is somebody has to be held accountable. So I think it has to be your defensive coordinator, also your offensive coordinator. I think both heads have to roll.
Your offensive coordinator doesn't call the offense.
No, but he's your receivers guy, and we had issues with the receivers getting open, especially during the three losses.
Two of them. They were open against BYU.
Okay. So
there were 300 yards against BYU.
I'm not. You act like I'm trying to argue against the points that you're making that are good points. I'm not trying to argue point.
I'm just saying that let's call it straight. The wide receivers struggled to get open against two elite pass defenses.
Okay.
We're putting the emphasis. Also a top 5 pass defense.
So you had 3, but you have to be able to beat those teams. And what has he actually done? What the guy who has the title offensive coordinator? What has he actually done?
You're arguing to rearrange deck chairs on the Titanic. Is my point. It doesn't matter. Like, okay, fire him. Great. It doesn't change anything.
I think, sure, it does change things.
What does it change? That they have a different wide receiver coach?
Another voice in the room. A different voice in the room. A position that you struggled against top tier talent. So
everybody does. Voice. That's why they're top 5 pass defenses.
Well, if you want to be better, you have to be able to figure out how to beat those top tiers. You have to be able to win. Occasionally, you should win a fucking game that you're not supposed to win. And right now, we're not winning any of the games that we're not supposed to win. And we're also struggling at times against teams that we're supposed to win.
The point being, Aaron, okay, you're playing against a great pass defense. You know you're not going to pass. You're not going to pass for a lot of yards. So then you have to have other dances you can dance. Right?
Somebody has to be held accountable. You can't just not do anything.
That's such fan bullshit. Like, okay. I don't care if anybody's held accountable. I care that you make moves that make the team better.
Well, then we can agree to disagree. But regardless, I think that firing both men makes the team better. Particularly the defensive coordinator, because I'm out on the 3-3-5. I'm done.
It has nothing to do with the 3-3-5. It has to do with the way they're playing it.
Well, right now, your defensive coordinator is playing it terribly. And you said your voice is he's being passive. How do you keep him here if he's passive, if he won't load the box?
Fair. So I think you have to have that conversation at least of they were the least aggressive Power 5 defense in the country. They blitzed the last. They played zone the last, least. You're right. They did. There was nothing. It was just
zone.
We're going to line up in 3-man front, 2 linebackers. We're going to drop 8 in coverage, and we're going to let you move the ball down the field 7-8 yards at a time.
And so thank you, Tyson Veit, for your service. You are a great guy on the mic. You were very personable. You treated us fairly. I'm sorry, it's just not working out.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's stylistic. That has to be the head coach that makes that decision. That I think a decision was made, Aaron. We don't care, about anything but how many points do we give up. Well, guess what? You gave up a shit ton of points the last month. A shit ton of points the last month. Yeah. Maybe in the early, the first half of the season, that worked. But TCU aside, I would say Utah, Arizona. Listen to what I'm saying. Utah, Arizona, BYU are probably the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th best teams in the conference.
Okay.
They exposed the defense. So when you got to a point that, Dallas is in sight, and the teams you're competing with for Dallas are on the field opposite you, this passive, just letting them kind of dictate the entire, what have I talked about for a month now? dictating the terms of engagement. Cincinnati's not done that in any of these 4 games.
I mean, to an extent, yes, they expose the defense, but you're also putting them out there 40 minutes of the game. Every game.
Some of that is on the offense, but they're out there for 40 minutes a game, Aaron, because they give up 11, 12, 13. But they gave up a 19-play drive at one point. You have to get off the field to be off the field. So we can't blame that entirely. The offense is culpable in that with the 3 and outs. Yes. Absolutely. No question. They are part and parcel with that problem. But you could have cut 10 minutes off of that. This team had more 4th downs run against it than any team in the country. You know why? Because every team they played had like 19 3rd down attempts. They just repeatedly stay on the field. You have to get off the field. Well, the reason they can't get off the field is because they're too passive about everything they do.
When you're giving up 4 to 5 yards per play.
Yeah.
I mean, today you gave up 7.4 yards per play. Why would you not go for it every day?
Yeah,
Go for it. It's a Madden game against Cincinnati's defense. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you go for it? Absolutely, you go for it. Always go for it.
TCU was 6 of 14 on 3rd down, and then 3 of 3 on 4th. So essentially, those 14 times you got them to 3rd down, they got a 1st down 9 of them.
Yep.
And there was never, in any of those plays, Aaron, it never felt like there was any pressure to get TCU off the field, to do something different, to challenge them and get them off the field. Instead, it was a bunch of 3rd and short, 4th and short, 5 guys in the box, and wondering why they're just running you over. Dumb.
This is where I don't feel like you can. How do you defend bringing back Tyson Vite?
I'm not.
I'm just asking in general. I'm not asking. Yeah. I'm not accusing you of defending it. I'm just saying I don't think you can. I don't think bringing him back is defensible. I don't see how you do it, which gets me back to why I'm out on the 3-3-5 is here's the question I have for you. Do you think it's easier to recruit defensive linemen and linebackers or secondary?
The hardest thing to recruit is actual defensive tackles. And playing a 4-man front requires you to put 2 of them on the field instead of 1.
You think that's harder than
absolutely. You think it's easy to find guys that are 6'4", 320 pounds and that can move? Those guys aren't out there.
Look, I'm just saying I think it's easier to recruit to a 4-3 or a 4-2-5 than it would be to a probably more so 4-3 with 3 linebackers and the option to go nickel. But I think that's easier to recruit to than it is a 3-3-5. To have because you can have you don't have to necessarily have a Dante Corleone in a 4-3. You don't necessarily have to have a true nose tackle. You can disguise a nose tackle in a 4-3, as opposed to the 3-3-5 where you have to have a giant human as your anchor on that line.
And not if they can get up the field. The problem was Dante didn't get up the field. How many times did we see Dante like just distracting, blowing up the point of attack? And look, I'm not going to take it. His ankle was messed up all year.
I get it.
All year. That kid probably should have just bagged it for like an extra month, knowing what kind of shape that ankle was going to be in. But he wanted to play. He wanted to be out there with his guys.
Right.
So, I mean, I get people being a little upset with Dante, but the kid gave everything he had in the tank. He had a bad high ankle sprain, like a bad high ankle sprain. For somebody that's, what is he, 6'2", 320, 330?
Big boy.
Having a bad wheel.
Look, I'm curious as to, he probably put on weight because I don't know how much he could even work out properly after
do a lot of cardio
after his ankle sprain.
Yeah, I mean, there's stuff you can do, but
It's not the same.
No, it's not the same. But look, like Aaron, you can play the 3-3-5 and still put 6 or 7 guys at the line of scrimmage. They don't do that. So everybody, of course, you're going to have a bad opinion of the 3-3-5 when there's 3 defensive linemen and then 2 linebackers 7 yards off the ball, another one guarding somebody in the slot, and then 5 DBs around that. That's, for a good offense, that is just begging to be decimated. And we have to acknowledge teams wanted to keep Cincinnati's offense off the field. So they were perfectly content. Cincinnati's going to let us take 7 minutes off the clock on this drive because their defense gives up 2 third down and a 4th down every drive. Okay. We'll take a 7-minute drive because there's no concern they're going to stop us on 3rd and 4th down. They are not worried about that at all. At all. 3-3-5 was great with Freeman because they were aggressive.
Is he running it at Notre Dame?
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah, that's his defense. He created that defense. So his version of he created his. That's the thing Aaron. That's the thing that annoys me on the 3-3-5 conversation. There's a million ways to run it. So it's not as simple as I hate the 3-3-5. You hate the version of it that Cincinnati's running, which is maybe the most passive defense I've ever seen in all my years watching football.
It feels like we're just playing prevent every down in a 3-3-5 scheme. It's just prevent every down in a 3-3-5 look.
Yeah, you might as well take one of the third linebacker out, put a 6 defensive back in, and play a 3-2-6, essentially, like the way that they're playing it.
I agree.
It's frustrating as hell.
I'm also not mad at the players. I am mad at the coaches. I concur. I did see earlier, and I think we should address it. Doug, who's a regular in here, was asking about Zach Grant and what kind of blame he is to shoulder in all of this.
None. 0.0%.
I concur.
They only have so much to work with.
I mean, I saw a tweet earlier today where it said like the top 10 NIL schools in the country, and everyone had it was largely SEC and Big 10 schools. I don't know. Trying to recollect, I don't know if anybody was from any other conference, but they were all $500 million plus. I don't know if Cincinnati is playing with $50 million.
I mean, was that just like a revenue, like total revenue?
Total
that sounds
NIL.
like a total revenue. No,
maybe it was just the tweet. And I don't even know that it was a verified source or anything like that. That all said, I wouldn't imagine that Cincinnati is playing with anywhere near the same dollar amount. So you're stretching $1, and in more cases than not, you're stretching a quarter.
Yeah.
Compared to somebody who's got $100.
I don't know what else. I don't know what else Zach and Jack and those guys can possibly do to get any more juice out of the orange.
Yeah.
So, if there's any connective tissue between the college GM and the coaching staff, yeah, absolutely. I mean, SAT hired Zach Grant. Now, that job has evolved and become a little bit different. And I think I had this conversation on the board yesterday. Like, if something were to happen and Wes were to get fired, I think Corey Evans would stay as the GM. I think if Cincinnati ever makes a football coaching change and Zach Grant is still here, I think he will have the opportunity to stay and be a part of the hiring process for whoever he works with next. Like, I really do think those guys are that good at their jobs. They had, 18 of 22, 23 transfer portal guys playing a significant role on this team, that's a big number to hit. Now, were they all good enough? No. But guess what? They didn't have the money to go get the guys that Texas Tech did. And you see what happens. Like, it's a perfect case study, is it not, Aaron? Texas Tech had, $1 million to spend on every guy that they got. Cincinnati had $250,000 to spend on every guy. That's exaggerating a little bit,
right,
but you
just
get
throwing
my
numbers
point.
out. Yeah.
You get my point. Like, when you have the money to go get better players, your team looks better. Now, this one, like, this is 2 years in a row, Aaron. They have lost to a Sonny Dykes team that was essentially like lifeless on the side of the road.
Limping to the finish line? Yeah.
Yeah, lifeless on the side of the road. Last year, they could have gotten bowl eligible. You had a Sonny Dykes team that had no interest to be in Cincinnati in late December. And then finally, in the second half, TCU was like, do we really, like, you guys are going to insist that we go win this game? Fine, we'll go take
TCU
it.
also won. They also won last week.
Yeah, I mean, they scored 17 points. Their offense was terrible, and they look like the fucking Kurt Warner Rams tonight.
Greatest show on turf.
Greatest show on really muddy, sloppy grass. How do you know what they paid on McDoom, Tunk? I don't think they paid him a ton of money.
For a Sunbelt corner.
Yeah, I mean, he got paid. I don't think he made a lot of money. The 1-11 in November, I don't really care. The 0-16 when trailing at half is the one of those two stats that actually matters.
Well, the only thing you want to say about 1-11 is the fact that you're at the end of the season, you are falling on your face. You are falling off a cliff, Wile E. Coyote style.
If you want to say, and last year, like, again, we've talked about it. They should have beat West Virginia. They should have had a chance to beat TCU. They played like dog poo in both of those games. But the teams they have played in November have been significantly better than them. So it doesn't bother me all that much. Although, again, this year, I thought Arizona and BYU were there for the taking, and they were terrible. They didn't do anything right. And that's I think you would agree with this. The thing that has to be drilled down on this offseason, Aaron, why did it go from playing almost completely error-free, like the cleanest brand of complimentary football you can find, to a sloppy, disjointed mess like that?
In all three phases. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't just the defense. It wasn't just the offense. It wasn't just special teams. All three phases this year.
Last year. Yeah. I just don't think last year's team was.
Sure, but it was all three phases. It wasn't just one thing.
Oh, yeah. Like the special teams last year through the first 6 games was outstanding. And then the last 6 games was maybe the worst special teams unit in all of college football.
But during that
why is the pendulum swinging like this?
During that 7-game win streak, your special teams we made the joke. I know it became a bit, but special teams was special, legitimately, and they fell off a cliff. And it wasn't just Max. It wasn't just Rusnick. It wasn't just the return teams. It was all of them. Defense was during that 7-game win streak. During that 7-game win streak, defense was bend don't break, and then they just broke, and the water came flooding in. Offense struggled during all of those losses, more often than not.
I like Randy. I'll just leave that at that. Was the 7-game win streak a fluke? No. They earned that's what just they played clean football. They did the offense moved the ball. The defense, while it was still giving up yards, kept points off the board. The special teams was outstanding. They won field position. They kicked field goals when they needed to. They took care of the football. They didn't get any sacks or turnovers because they that's not part of the DNA of this defense, I suppose.
Again, you've got you get me. Look, I'd be okay even if we were just biting. Like if the deep balls that we were giving up was because you bit on trying to jump a route or something like that, but you're just getting beat.
Aaron, can you ban Tucker for life for that comment? Get Dylan Raiola. Get out, Tucker. Get out.
He's never going to play for a team on this. He's never going to play for a team on this side of the Mississippi. His hero would be so mad.
I always love this question. If the starters can't stop anyone, why not put in the second string? Because they weren't able to beat out the starters. And I don't know if you looked or not, Skeletor, but I mean, you were running 9 guys on the defensive line, 9 guys on the defensive line, and 6 guys at linebacker. Like, you're putting the second team out there a lot.
Hey, Yugsy, there's millions, literally, unless you got a couple millions sitting around, there are millions of reasons to bring the staff back, bro.
Raiola's going to Texas Tech. I wouldn't cash that ticket. I wouldn't put money in on that. Maybe he does. I'm guessing they might want somebody else.
I would want somebody better than Raiola. I don't think he's mid. I still think he's mid.
Yeah, I mean, he can't push the ball down the field. Here we go.
Oh, that was
Brendan
Sorsby.
This is from
that was
Keegan.
a Mahomes joke.
Yeah. Brendan Sorsby says he will have conversations with the coaching staff and his family about what he will do about next season. Says right now he hasn't thought about it. He's been locked in on TCU. You know what he said last year?
I'm not leaving.
I'm the quarterback of the Cincinnati Bearcats. Like, I mean, he didn't look happy, man. He looked annoyed a lot.
It's been a couple games.
Yeah,
he's looked that way,
screaming at the sidelines. Like, I don't know. I don't know. He very well could decide to come back. If I had to guess, I don't think he does. I think he at least tests the portal, tests the waters, and I think there's going to be like life-changing money for him there.
Sure.
Double, maybe triple what he's making right now. So, I don't know. Maybe he comes back. I have a hard time seeing it at this point. If you'd asked me that 2 weeks ago, I'd been like, it's either the NFL or the Bearcats. I don't think that's the case anymore.
Got to put it on tape.
Do I expect people to start announcing in the portal this week? I don't know how you avoid it. Like, this year's different, by the way. It used to be that the portal would open a week from Monday. So as soon as the conference championship weekend was done and then the playoff was announced, then the portal would open that Monday right after. This year, it doesn't open until January 2nd. And then it's open for 2 weeks. So it's going to happen later. It's going to happen pretty much after all the regular bowls and the New Year's Six bowls are played. And I think the first round of the playoffs. Then the portal will open. It's going to be insanity because it's only going to be open for 14 days. And then that's it. That's it.
Are bowl games like the games like at Heritage Bank where players get paid NIL money?
I don't think that's worked its way into bowl games yet. Not that I've heard.
Well, that's a tragedy for the sport, if we're being completely honest, because it's essentially an exhibition, and the bowl
problem
games
is
have a shit ton of money.
The problem is, I think, like in terms of the rules and the way these things are structured, you would have to completely redo the bowl system. And I think they're terrified of that, Aaron, because it doesn't matter anymore.
How's it different? Like, how's it any different than playing at Heritage Bank in the regular season than playing at Birmingham at the end of the season?
Because these
they
are
don't want
like
to share the money.
I'm sure that's part of it. That's always part of it. But those events are being created for the sake of paying NIL to players. The bowl structure has been around for 100 years, whatever. So they'd have to redo the structure, and nobody wants to redo the structure because they don't want to give away the money. And also, Aaron, I think there's a real conversation to be had here. If they redo the structure of the bowl games, they just go away because the playoff.
I guess what I'm getting at is this is how you keep the bowl games at least entertaining. Is if you're paying the guys NIL money, they play for the money, as opposed to sitting out because they're entering the portal, and then you're left with bare bone teams on a 7-5 team that doesn't give a shit because they're all going into the portal.
There's never going to be that much money to pay them because you got 80. Like, that's the part people have to remember about football. You got 100 guys now. You're going to tell 97 of your guys, sorry, fellas, we got to get Billy here to stick around. Nobody's getting a cut of their bowl money.
I think they got more money than you're. There's plenty of tickets being sold in some of these.
Money is hemorrhaging from bowl games.
Then don't have so many of them.
Why are you so angry about everything tonight?
Because the season sucked.
Okay. Well, I'm trying to just talk some sports, and you're mad about everything. Some great OL coming back, replacing our stud center is a concern. I wonder there if Tengistal moves to center, or I think he does, and then you move Lozowicki to left guard. But I'm not I know Wheelock played a lot of center, second and third team this year. So I imagine there'll be a competition. And look, Skeletor, I think I'd take you over at right tackle as opposed to what's been there. So they're saying ESPN didn't buy all the bowl games to get rid of them. I agree, Doug Smith. That doesn't make them profitable. That doesn't mean that they have just money laying around to start throwing millions and millions. Again, the difference, people want to know why it's not the same as basketball. In basketball, you could have a $2 million prize for a team, and everybody's going to get a significant chunk of money. In football, if you give a football team $2 million, everybody gets $1.50. They get a value meal at McDonald's.
Not if you don't take everybody. I'm more talking about the guys who say that they're sitting out or entering the portal and they don't want to go with if you don't plan on playing, if you plan on sitting out, it's one less mouth to feed.
Okay, but it's 3 guys. You're not dealing with.
We'll see.
Maybe. I mean, in terms of guys that are typically on the field,
how many guys sat out the Fenway Bowl?
A bunch, because there was a coaching change.
Well, just saying, there can be more than 3 guys that sit out.
They could all poop rainbows. I'm talking about the way that this is working across the country, you'll have a couple NFL guys sit out. You'll maybe have a transfer portal or two guys sit out, but it's not changing. If there's NIL tied to the bowl game, each player will get, $1,000 more or whatever. Like it's not going to make a difference on that front.
I think you're selling what these bowl games bring in short.
What? I don't think they bring in a whole lot of money.
Commercials aren't cheap. ESPN owns the rights to all of them.
Sure, but ESPN pays a flat fee to the bowl game to air the bowl game. Like it's just like a conference that has like a TV deal, except it's a TV deal for one game. They're not flush with cash. There's some money there, and the better the bowl game, one of the rackets that I've always got a kick out of, and I think it's still how it's done. One of the reasons the bowl games make money is because if you make the bowl, they give you the tickets and then they charge you for the tickets. And the only way you get the money back is if you sell the tickets. So the bowl game is going to make money on like a 2/3, 75% sold out stadium, whether there's 10 people there or not.
They still make money.
They make some, but they don't make as much as you think. They're not lavish, like lush with cash.
Okay.
They're not. Like I've maybe the Rose Bowl is, but you know why there's sponsor changes every year at a lot of these bowls, Aaron? Because it's not worth it to sponsor it. You're just lighting money on fire. And there's not a return on investment outside of you're on ESPN for 3 hours.
It's not an argument I care to take any further, but
bowl game draw is preset. I think this year it goes, I looked around at this earlier. Alamo Bowl the Sugar Bowl in the CFP. Alamo Bowl is 1, Pop-Tarts Bowl is 2, Texas Bowl is 3, Liberty Bowl is 4, Rate Bowl is 5, Independence Bowl is 6, and then there's a couple variations from there. The problem is, if Cincinnati finished 6-3, they would have been in a group with Houston, Arizona, San Diego State in terms of like bowl selection. Well, Arizona and Arizona State, Aaron, are still tied into Pac-12 bowls. They're called Pac-12 tie-ins. So those two teams are going to be kind of out of the way. So you would have been in a pretty good position to be one of the first teams selected in this bowl lineup. But because you lost today, you're now tied with Iowa State, Kansas State, TCU, and Cincinnati. So instead of a tie for 4th,
tied with Avery Johnson.
You're now tied for 7th.
Embarrassing.
And guess what, Aaron? UC fans aren't going to this bowl game.
No. I had planned on attending whatever bowl game as media. I'm not going to whatever bowl game. Nah. I'm good. I'll hang with my family. Not spend the money. All good.
Well, are you like it's Shreveport, Birmingham, Memphis?
No desire. I don't need to be in any of those places.
Third world cities.
I've been to Memphis. I'm all the way good on Memphis.
The Shreveport Bowl makes the Liberty Bowl look like part of the CFP. You are not wrong, Sonny. You are not wrong.
Memphis was fun for a bachelor party a couple decades ago. I'm good on Memphis at this point.
I don't even know how to get to Shreveport or Birmingham. Do they have airports? Birmingham does. Birmingham's actually, I didn't realize this until I was out on the AAU trail. Did you know Birmingham's like 45, 50 minutes from Atlanta?
Sounds about right, actually.
It's just straight west. from Atlanta. There was an event going on in Birmingham that I needed to see a player, and I was in Atlanta. I was like, man, I don't feel like driving all the way to Alabama. And they're like, dude, like it'll take you less time to get out of Atlanta than it'll take you to get to Birmingham. Them are Conference USA cities.
Birmingham has an international airport. I'm shocked.
Yeah, Birmingham Airport's fair. I mean, I've not been, but I've driven past it. It's a nice sized airport. It's not like a little like puddle jumper. Keegan gonna find out how to get to Shreveport. You're damn right he is.
They call the Shreveport airport the Shreveport.
Yeah, 145 from Atlanta to Birmingham. That's what I was talking about. It's like an hour to get out of Atlanta and then 45 minutes to get to Birmingham.
Yuck.
Remember when we had to become members at all the Birmingham bars for the Papa John's Bowl? Then they ran out of pizza at the game. Legion Field was a dump. Yeah. I was like, Birmingham, the city isn't terrible, Aaron. It's not completely awful, but then you pull up to the stadium and it looks like you're in Iraq. Like bombed out houses, windows, like it literally looked like you were in a war zone, and then there was just a parking lot in a football stadium. Is we the only team that runs the 3-3-5 defense? No.
Got it. Thank you for the donation. 513 Art Dog.
No, they are not the only team that runs the 3-3-5 defense. There's a lot of them. They might be the only team that runs this version of the 3-3-5 defense where they just watch the other team play football for a majority of the game. Is that a good way to describe it, Aaron? They just line up and watch the other team play offense?
Prevent.
Yeah, they play at UAB's new stadium now. I've heard the new stadium's pretty nice. I liked some of the stuff around Birmingham that we saw, like the suburbs and like where people actually lived. But then we pulled up to the Liberty Bowl and it was like, holy shit.
I like that every time I've been driving near Birmingham, it always routes me right around Birmingham. I've never driven through Birmingham, just right around.
Knoxville does that too, I think. When you're going south on 70.
I don't need to see Birmingham. Keep me routing right around.
You know what there is in Birmingham, Aaron? You know what there is?
Sure don't.
There's a Buc-ee's. There's a Buc-ee's in Birmingham.
Never been.
It's on the outskirts. It's way out here. Like here's Birmingham. Buc-ee's is like out here.
I have never been to a Buc-ee's.
Really?
Nope. Not once.
I think you'd like it. It's actually the food is good.
I'm not anti Buc-ee's. I've just never been. Every time I've been, it's like you're only 545 miles away from the nearest Buc-ee's. Stop on in. Cool. I'll see you in 6 hours.
Damn, you can do 500 miles in 6 hours? You're cooking. Like 90 the whole way.
I've done it.
They ran the 3-3-5 with Freeman 2019, 2020, 2021. Well, Josh, Aaron doesn't hate Buc-ee's. He's just never been there.
Yeah. I hate plenty of things, Borkowski.
You got anything you want to talk about? We're not even talking about football. I had to disarm you. I had to talk about other things so you... Woosah.
Not Buckeyes, Ronnie. Not Buckeyes. Buc-ee's. I don't know, man. It's frustrating. Like I said, I don't think you can with good faith go into next season without holding somebody accountable and it costing some of these coaches their job. Whether I hate the term.
Hold somebody accountable. I think it's dumb.
Well, cool. Doesn't change the fact that when you look at the body of work from the defense, and whether that's Vite, whether that's your new cornerbacks or safeties coaches, is probably less on the safeties than was corners. And I love Coach Eddie, but I don't know. You've got to hold somebody accountable. You can't go into next season with the entire staff in place and expect something to change. Is I guess what I'm getting at. So,
I mean,
sorry,
unless there's
you left me to filibuster on a topic that you didn't want me to talk about. So here you go.
I mean, unless there's just like an honest like sit down meeting with Vite is like, we can't. Whatever that was,
so
we can't do that anymore.
And I understand, but how many times did you do that through this season? And is it lip service at this point, or are you actually going to get him making the adjustments and making the changes that you want to see? Because if you've had that conversation several times throughout this season and you continue to see what we saw today, I don't know how you continue to do it and think that it's going to get better.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was talking about. Like, is that his demeanor? Is that his identity as a defensive coordinator? Is I want to sit back in coverage and make you run all these plays and move down the field and beat me? Because I think for a while that kind of threw spread teams off, right? Because spread teams in the beginning, if you remember, Aaron, when teams really started like 5 wide, 4 wide, like edge to edge, a lot of it was big plays over the top. And then defenses adjusted. Well, the problem is offensive units have now adjusted to that adjustment, right? If you're going to go light in the box, we're going to run it at you. Or if you're not going to guard our guy 7-8 yards off the line of scrimmage, we're just going to run our guy 7 yards, throw a pass to him, and we're going to beat you, like you said, 8, 9, 10 yards at a time. And you can't be okay with that anymore, I don't think. Like, I think there was a time that was effective as these spread offenses have evolved. I think that time has passed, is what I'm getting at.
I think you need to see the game of chess throughout, or however you want, whatever analogy you want to, adjustments or whatever the case may be. But I don't think you saw that. And you didn't see a counterpunch. You didn't see, well, you took this away from us, so we're going to do this. You did this, so we're going to do that. You didn't see that at all. You just saw, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do it bad, and you're going to figure out how to beat it.
Yeah.
And we're just going to continue to do it, hoping for the best.
Yeah. Anything you want to talk about from individual players? I don't really have. I mean, Sorsby tied Desmond Ritter's single season touchdown record. That was nice.
Congratulations.
That was nice. He had a great year.
He could, if he plays in the bullshit bowl game that we play in, then he could beat it.
Is that what we're calling it? The bullshit bowl? Whatever
the bullshit bowl sounds about as good as anything else. But maybe you put him in there for however many drives it takes to beat the record, and then you let him sit.
I love that everybody's now caught on to my left hash thing and they're running with it.
I don't think. How many did he miss from the other hash?
0.
Weird.
Yeah. It's a fair point. I mean, he did make a couple, I think, from the left hash, but
I don't think he's
almost all of his makes were from the right hash. I'm talking about like early in the year.
No one can explain to you, Ron, why they didn't utilize Joe Royer. We have asked, we have tried, we have broken that down 74 different ways. He finishes 25 catches? on the regular season?
I think it was more than that, but not a lot. I mean, he had 3 for 45 today. That could have helped a little bit throughout the year. Don't you think?
I think it was 23 coming into tonight, and I think that puts him at 26.
No, he had 23 in the first 7 games, and then 5 in the next 4 games. That's what the stat was.
Okay.
So he had 28 and then 3 tonight.
Remember seeing 23.
30. I think it was 31 on the season. We're projected against Kent State in the Ice Show Speed Bowl. Look, I mean, again, we talked about this last week, Aaron. It can't be every week. Yeah, man, you're right. We got to get Joe Royer football.
He's just bracketed.
Oh, he's bracketed. But we have to find out a way to get him to football. They said this every week. Yeah, teams are doing a good job defending him, but we have to get him the football.
Should have bracketed Eric McAllister today. My God.
They did, unfortunately.
Not enough bracketing. You should have bracketed him harder. Keep bracketing. Add another bracket.
Yeah, but just another. Make sure the stud's there before you screw it into the wall, or else it'll just fall down anytime it tries to tackle.
Needed an anchor on that bracket.
You won't see Samaj play in the Doo-Doo Bowl game. You'll see Brady Lichtenberg. We all laughed when he said he celebrates with Red Robin burgers, and here we are. Our brackets are command strips. Would have been cool to see our backs get more than 6 carries. Yeah, Walker 6 for 48. 8 yards a carry, but he only got it 6 times. Now, I will tell you, your backs aren't going to get many yards when you're down 14-0 immediately.
Still back on brackets. You're running bracks.
Yeah, you're running bracks. Yeah, the coaches need to scheme better to get your best players available. We all agree on that, Ron. We all agree on that.
Didi, you wrong. He's just in the right cycle where you can't afford to fire him because you might have to fire your basketball coach.
Yeah, happened all year, though. We know, Alex. We've been talking about it for a couple weeks now. Stop telling us you're going to do a better job at getting Joe Royer the football and then not doing a better job getting Joe Royer the football. Tucker, stop talking about that shit. I'm going to ban you forever. Stop it.
Did you see Royer get the extra yards, though, when he got the ball today? Weird. It's almost like
amazing, wasn't it?
It's almost like he's good at making plays.
I felt like that was the first time we've actually seen a play schemed up for Joe Royer.
Since like week 4.
Where they rolled out and they faked like the speed option, and then Royer breaks free, and you hit him with the pass, and he gets extra yardage. That was pretty cool. I like that.
They call that one the whirly throw.
My bad, Alex. Yeah, for a while the running game was outstanding. They didn't need a lot of carries, and they got a lot of yards. That's perfect. I'm scarred. Sorry, need therapy. Look, man, go see an actual therapist for that. I can't help you with the damage that's been done by the basketball program right now.
Or any team in Cincinnati, for that matter. The whole city.
Hey, the good news is the basketball team gets to go to the Centos Center in 6 days.
Can't wait. Everyone who asks me about that game, or who's going to be favored in that one, flip a coin.
Xavier is now going to be favored in that game based on Ken Pom.
If Baba's back, I don't think you can favor Xavier.
When's the last time the city's won a game? Like 2 nights ago?
I don't get benefits to see a therapist. This is my therapy, believe it or not. This is
that's why we yell at each other for like 10 minutes, 20 minutes right out of the gate.
And
because Aaron needs to yell at somebody.
When we get done, we have a little talk about how it all went. Look, we got it all figured out here.
Oh, Sopko's dad said, "What's up?" I love Sopko. Soppy boy. Love him. I don't have anything else, man.
We got 122 people in here.
We can keep talking. I don't care. I'm just, having a couple of these, a couple of those. Weird. Culver, I don't want to talk about basketball. Stop it. Stop it.
We'll do that on a different show. I don't know. How do you got mad at me for my suggestions on how to fix next year? How do you, Chad, fix next year?
I don't know what the fix is, Aaron. Like, that's my problem. Like, okay, what I don't want to be is just, there's plenty of podcasts out there.
I also don't want to
just
be
fire
complacent.
Everybody.
I understand, but you can't be complacent going into next year.
I know. I like, okay, you fire Brad Glenn. Like, I don't have any idea what difference that makes.
Maybe that's part of the problem, because what is it you'd say you do here?
Fair. Like, okay, but you fire him. And you bring in another wide receiver coach. Okay. If Sorsby Portals is the 2026 starting QB on the roster, absolutely not. No. I don't believe so. I've seen enough of Samaj. I don't think he's ready. I've seen flashes from Samaj to think there's potential there, but I've also seen a lot of not good. I have no idea, Ron. I don't care where they're from. That's a Cincinnati thing. I don't care where they're from. It doesn't matter to me. He asked how many Cincinnati players from Cincinnati will play in the bowl game.
I wonder if he just means how many players on the team, like how many starters on the team are actually going.
He means players from Cincinnati will play in the bowl game.
Dante and Joe.
There's others. I mean, some of them are a little on the outside of the outskirts of Cincinnati. Gerhard will play in the bowl game. He's from Xenia. Does he count?
No, that's Dayton.
It's the same metro area now, isn't it? I think. What are the chances Sorsby goes into the draft? I think pretty low. I think where he's at right now in terms of his draft stock, he's going to make more money in college. So go get that bag, whether it's here or somebody else. Does Royer play? Does Dante play? I have no idea, man. I don't know. I probably wouldn't if I were them.
I'm going to tell.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, Dante will probably play. Like, knowing Dante, how much that uniform means to him, I would guess he'll play. Royer, I'd be like, I'll see y'all later. I got work to do. Like, it's time to start training. Yeah.
For my 2 catches?
Yeah.
Blocking? Nah, I'm good.
Yeah. Dante, I think Dante would play. That's sitting out does not seem like a Dante thing. Sorsby to the Browns. Will they expand Nippert Stadium now that they're in the Big 12? No, they can't even sell out Nippert Stadium now. There are 10,000 empty seats against Arizona. Sorry, maybe like 7. No. We talked about the great assistants under Fickle. No, we talked about Marcus Freeman, Mike Denbrock, and Brian Mason. That's who we talked about. Those are the coordinators. I don't think we really talked about a lot of the assistants, about how incredible they were. I think there was one of them that got a lot of credit for coaching Sauce and Kobe that wasn't necessarily a big reason that Sauce and Kobe were Sauce and Kobe. I'll just leave that there. But we talked about the top of the staff. Brian Mason should be our next head coach. Look, man, I'm in. I'd do that all day, every day. I think Brian Mason's the best special teams coach in the world. So you want to make him the head coach of the Bearcats? I'd ride with that. I'd take Denbrock in a heartbeat. I'd take Denbrock to be the head coach. And you guys were idiots for as much as you hated him. Idiots.
I think he's talking. He would take him as a head coach.
Yeah.
In a heart.
You hated it. Here's why people hated Denbrock. I've talked about this a million times, Aaron. They
had to
couldn't
hate
touch
somebody.
Fickle.
Yeah.
Couldn't touch Fickle. Couldn't touch Freeman. Really couldn't touch Mason because he was great. So Denbrock was like, we got to hate this guy. They're not perfect. They're not top 10. They're top 25.
Well,
so that guy sucks. What's he done since he left? Coached a Heisman winner and got Notre Dame, helped get Notre Dame to the championship game.
And how much in hindsight was that based on Desmond Ritter's physical limitations?
Right. Like Denbrock got the absolute best he could get out of Desmond Ritter.
Absolutely.
Lee Harvey Denbrock was the patsy. It was one of my favorite things. Those last 2 years when they were cooking and the offense was as good as you could possibly imagine, I would tell Denbrock, I would boo him every time I saw him. Just so he got he knew. I wanted him to know what the fans felt about
every time. Every time he laughed at you. He had zero fucks to give.
He didn't care.
Nah. He was going home and having a nice bottle of scotch.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Bearcat 9948. The Cincy Light money goes to the athletes. It does not go to the Satterfield buyout. So you could drink 18.5 million Cincy Lights, and it still wouldn't go to getting Scott Satterfield fired.
But you might get some shiny new toys.
Yeah. You might get a brand new starter jacket. You might get this.
Might get a cornerback who turns around.
Let's not get carried away, Aaron.
God bless America.
His personality was too dry to give a shit what the noise was saying. Jared, he is one of the funniest humans I've ever met. Now, was it dry? Did we get along really well because his sense of humor was super dry? Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah. This team makes me want to drink 18.5 million Cincy Lights. Oh. It would give Jizzle a check to take home.
Not so fast, my friend.
The sea was angry that day, my friends. The sea was angry that day. Who was more dry, Denbrock or Mason? Not even close. Brian Mason might have the driest personality of any human I've ever met. And I say that with love. When he got here, I thought there is absolutely no way that me and this guy are going to get along. We ended up getting along. We ended up becoming very close. But Brian Mason had the driest personality. Like, I think he had
it's because like you're like a net. No matter how many times he swatted you, you kept coming back.
Just come back. Like I'm not going anywhere. I'm not leaving. I think he also had like 14 degrees. Like he's the only person I ever have heard of in this industry where everywhere he went as a graduate assistant, he actually got a graduate degree. Like usually guys are just GAs, right? You hear that term all the time, but nobody actually ever gets the graduate degree. Mason went to like 4 places. I think he got like 7 graduate's degrees.
Nerd alert.
Top 3 smartest humans I've ever met, without question.
Don't doubt it. Do not
Without
doubt
question. Top 3 smartest humans I've ever met.
Ran laps around you.
Oh, not even like you got to know your own scouting report. There are some coaches around here I've been like, oh, I like in a battle of brain power, I got that guy. Mason was not on the list. Aranda is not getting fired at Baylor. They've already stated that he's not getting fired. Eating the last of my leftovers already. Sorsby's leaving. Our pets' heads are falling off.
You said the last sentence all wrong. Pets' heads are falling off.
I'm ready to be done, but there's 127 people in here, and you don't want to let me leave.
It's growing.
I know. Do we know if Tony would ever want to play a support role on the team, or does he love radio? I mean, I don't know. He's never taken that route, and generally, by the time you're in I think he's in his mid-30s by now, you've decided whether or not you're going to get into coaching.
Been away from the game long enough. I think that is how he's supporting the team, though, especially with an open mic at this point. You lost a legend on the mic this season.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot more money in coaching.
Sure. There's no argument.
There's a lot more work. There's a lot more money in coaching.
He's got young kids. I mean, he's doing what he wants to do. He's passionate about it, clearly. If he wanted to be in coaching, he would have already been in coaching.
I agree. Well, I mean, he does he does work with quarterbacks and he does some coaching. I just think if that was really a path he was super interested in, he would have already. I mean, is he smart? If he's smart, he'd wait till a changing of the guard. Culver, nobody's going to give him does he really? So if Tony wanted to get into coaching, hypothetically, he'd have to start as like an assistant quarterback coach. That is not the type of money I'm talking about.
After having been away from the game for so long, yeah, you can't just come in and I'm going to be the quarterback coach.
Right. That's not how that works. So I think Tony likes his kids too much to coach. I think Tony's kind of 50-50 on his kids. I'm kidding. Tony loves his kids. That was a joke.
I think he does love the mic, though.
He does. Coaching carousel is going to be bananas in the next few days. Absolutely. For sure. A lot of big jobs.
We haven't been on Lane watch for the last hour and 15 minutes. Has Lane made a decision?
I don't think so. I think somebody would have told us if he did. I think he's supposed to meet with the Ole Miss AD either tonight or tomorrow.
Can we talk about that for a minute? His his confrontation with the podcaster, who then went to Twitter after the interaction with Lane as if he did something.
Yeah, he just stood there like a little.
He didn't even look him in the eyes. He looked away from Lane grabbed him by the shoulder and he put his arm or his hand on him, sure, but he wouldn't make direct eye contact with. What are you doing? He was like when you tell a dog, bad dog, no.
I'm so sorry, sir. Lane had a meeting at 3 Central. No announcement. Do we know if that meeting's done? They could still be meeting. They had an exchange in the press scrum too. Yeah, look, man, you got to say something. You got to say something, Aaron.
Stand on business. Otherwise,
right?
Watch your mouth.
Called him a hoe. Said you can't make a hoe a housewife.
He might have called Lane a hoe, but Lane made him his bitch.
Right? You know what you say? It's very simple, Aaron. Non-confrontational. That's awesome, dude. You said bad dog no, and his just let out a whine. That's fantastic.
Oh, that's funny.
You know what you say to him? Show me. Prove it. Prove it. You're not a hoe? Prove it. And that's it. 2 words, Aaron. All you do is shake his hand and you say, prove it, coach. Prove it. And you know how viral you'd go?
Says he stood on business in the postgame presser. Did he? What did he do in the postgame presser? I'm unfamiliar. I've only seen the stuff that's been viral enough to show up on my For You Twitter. I've not done a deep dive.
I think he wants to coach a championship game if they get into it. So waiting to see if they are or not, and then the school let him coach in it or not. And maybe that's fair. I don't know. I've been dealing with a cluster fuck of a game that happened in Fort Worth, so I have not been dialed in on the Lane Kiffin surroundings over the last couple hours. Can you describe why the university can't use institutional money and why it can't subsidize the football NIL? Because the NCAA says you can't. The institutionalized money comes from the rev sharing.
Leroy, I'll look into that follow-up video in the presser, and I'll talk about it more on the BVP. I'm sure Brent will love that conversation.
Yeah. 3 hour and 45 minutes. Yeah. It's a long meeting. All right. I'm done, Aaron. We've gone an hour and 20 minutes.
We did.
We spent the last 40 not talking about this game, which I think is a big win for everybody.
It's probably for the best, truthfully.
Yeah.
Made this podcast worth listening to.
Actually, I don't think we really talked about the game outside the first 15 minutes. We talked about a lot of stuff.
I hate watched the entire game. I would have turned it off if I didn't have to do this.
Same. I left at halftime. We left to drive home at halftime from the Grail.
Well, after the 90-minute break, I don't blame you.
Had dogs to take care of. We had been gone for a long time. I was not anticipating a 90-minute break. Yes. What? When's the Big 12 check hit again? July 1st.
Every year. Okay. Well, sign us out of here.
Guys, thanks to all of you. It's been a blast. We will we'll see you tomorrow night for the BBP, Sunday night for the BBP, Monday night for another Aftermath. Oh my God. I'm so sick of spending all this time with Aaron. It's so much better when they win. We just argue when they lose.
Pretty much.
We'll see you tomorrow night. Maybe Brent. Oh, Aaron. Brent's going to be down bad. Brent's going to be down.
That's his fault, bro. We keep telling him stop. He's his own worst enemy.
Yeah, he is. All right, that's going to do it. We'll see you tomorrow night and Monday night and many nights after that. That's the Aftermath, brought to you by Galactic Fried Chicken, right here on BearcatJournal.com.
See ya!